Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Let me show you something here, because Alycia Baumgardner, she's going to end up having to fight Caroline Dubois sooner than later. Watch this. Okay. Check this out. There is all kind of craziness going on when it comes to Alycia Baumgardner, Claressa Shields,
it may not be
Dubois, and boxing fans. I just think it's just like we talk about with Papoose and Claressa. We say they need to stay off the internet. To me, Alycia should just stay off the internet because you're never going to win. Anyway, listen to this. She was on the Ariel Helwani show, and I didn't watch the whole show. I just got this clip here. And I'm like, oh boy, I knew she was going to get a response. But just check this out.
Super fight, but I would say big time fight is you versus Caroline, in my opinion. Do you agree?
That's a big fight, yes.
Okay. You don't put it quite up there as far as...
No.
But it interests you.
It is an interest, yes.
What did you think of her performance a couple weeks ago?
Honestly, very unfortunate for her.
Okay, why?
Because I think that was her opportunity to separate herself at the 135-pound division to fight a former champion like Terry Harper. I had high expectations for her, honestly. I thought she would get her out of there. I thought...
Like you did.
Like I did,
right?
And she underperformed. And I see a lot of flaws within her style. She's young. You know, we have to remember, she's 25 years old. She's hungry. I was there once. I know the fire that burns and her desire to want to be the best, to fight the best, but you're quite not ready. You're not ready. And if you want to get that L sooner than later, cool. I can give you that. But I also need her to understand what business looks like, what it is to build a fight, what it is to have marketability behind you, what it is to sell tickets, not just in the UK, not just in America, but worldwide. People want to tune in for what? How do they know you?
And you've called her a C-level fighter.
C-level.
You really think she's C-level?
C-level.
Wow.
That performance gave me C-level because, again, I have eyes. It's boxer eyes.
Sure.
I've been in this game for 24 years, and I see a lot of things. And I keep those to myself, and she will be better. I believe that because she believes in herself, her skill set. But yeah, right now she's at a C.
Can I ask if you want to share, like, what did you see out of her that didn't impress you? What are you seeing that makes her a C-level fighter?
What I saw was that she was okay with being comfortable. She was okay. If you go back to the fight with Terry, she was okay with just doing what she was able to do in that fight. Terry was already dropped. You didn't step on her. Terry also was cut. You didn't take advantage of the moment that you had. And yeah, I see right through that. I know exactly what that means.
And so do you think this is what MVP wants? Do you think that they want you to win on Friday and then match you two up?
I mean, it makes sense on a business level, right?
Okay.
They're going to compare the two. And we'll just have to show why I've always been a level above these women.
Do you think that's what's at stake here? You win, you look good on Friday, that's what they're going to do? Because it feels like the most momentum is behind this matchup, you versus Caroline.
No. You know, I've been very vocal with Nikisa, with Jake. I know Eddie Hearn's going to be on your show later.
Yes.
You know, and again, when I was with Matchroom, I was very vocal about having these big super fights. I'm in line for a super fight.
Yeah.
Caroline is just another fight. It's not a big fight. It's only big because she's fighting me. Let's be honest.
She did headline in the UK very recently.
I mean,
right?
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
First show.
But she got to put some skin in the game, Ariel. She got to put some skin in the game. I beat the champ to be the champ.
Right.
I've had a journey. And also, they said I wasn't going to beat Terry. They said I wasn't going to beat Michaela. We went to the UK twice and proved that. I became undisputed. I'm fighting 3 minutes, 12 rounds. You know, when we talk about being a game changer and being the face of women's boxing, you have to step up to the plate. And every time they give me a challenge, I step up to the plate. We've been able to fight on Netflix twice last year. Again, opening up for ESPN. These are major things when we talk about brand building. And it takes time to build that brand. And you can't just use my name for clout because you think that's the way to go. No, go put some work in.
So if I'm reading you correctly, you're saying like not next.
It's not next. No.
Okay, wow.
That fight's not next. I want my super fight.
You want it.
I want my super fight. Amanda or Katie, very vocal on that.
And what happens if that doesn't come to
We just have to see. Right now, I've been pushing that. I know what type of statement I have to make come Friday night, and that's the conversation that we need to have next. How do we position Alycia to be the superstar that she is?
Okay. Is Alycia, like Caroline Dubois says, is she giving diva? Or is she giving facts? Is she putting duck sauce on the fried rice? Or is she setting the record straight? Now, about Claressa Shields. She said that Claressa, as far as her appearance, she took a dig at Claressa's appearance. We all know Claressa doesn't like nobody saying nothing about her appearance, about her being fat, about her being lazy, about her not wanting to come down in weight. You know, she doesn't like that. But in Claressa's defense, for that weigh-in with Franchon Cruz, the second fight, Claressa, those abs were there. She did seem to be in much better shape, will have a much better physical appearance than her other fights. But when you look at her, there's still, I think she can still drop more weight, okay? Now, this is just my opinion. When I watch most of the other females, I understand genetics, I understand body makeup, right? And I watch the male fighters. Man, most of them don't have any fat on them, in their legs, anywhere. They are ripped. Claressa was in much better shape, but she's not ripped. You know what I'm saying? She looks like she can drop some weight. I wonder how she would look with a dietitian. I wonder how Claressa would look if she cut down to 154, 160. She would have to have a nutritionist, a dietitian to safely do it because Claressa is damn near 5'10". She's a big woman. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, I do think for Alycia Baumgardner, she going to have to fight Caroline Dubois sooner than later, all right? All this mega fights and big money fights and people putting skin in the game. I understand what she's saying. I really do. But I also understand that maybe just get off the internet. Stop talking about them. But it gets attention, it gets clicks. But I'm telling you, the internet is going to internet. You know what I'm saying? I went through reading some of the comments. I'm like, oh my God, boy, these people ain't cutting her no slack. You know what I'm saying? At all. There's some who agree with her. But there are others who feel like, you know what, man? Alycia is scared and trying to find any excuse at this point to not fight Caroline. But then some are saying, hey, Caroline go down to fight in Alycia Baumgardner's weight class. But Caroline's saying she can't go down to 130. It's impossible. Her fighting at 135 is the lowest she can go. You know what I'm saying? But there are more and more people who, I'll just show you, they are starting to come down on Alycia. Where are we at here? And I'm surprised. I'm pretty surprised at it. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is Caroline Dubois. She says, Mare was your biggest fight, and it wasn't even undisputed, but I guess in the meantime, you can say scrapping my leftovers, make sure you don't choke. Because Bomi Rishin can fight. But you see right here, Naji, I think that's the guy with the who interviews a lot of boxers. He says she's just scared and trying to find any excuse. You know, I think that's wild for him to come out and say that because of the platform that he has. But that just lets you know that, some people feel this way. Everything boxing. She's annoying as frick. Her whole persona is a fake act, shaking my head. Yo, they're starting to come down on it. These are people who, I'll just put it to this way. I'm surprised at some of these people coming at her like that. You know what I'm saying? Look, I forgot about that Jennifer Miranda fight. She really lost. Where's this other one here? What's crazy, and then this person comes to her defense. What's crazy is your performance was so mid against Bo that it's going to be hard for her to look worse than what you did. But what's funny about it is right here, Caroline Dubois says, I know Bo will bring her back down to earth this weekend. Alycia and Jake Paul talk some sense into her, please. So this is Caroline Dubois saying, y'all can say what y'all want about my performance against Bo Mi Ri Shin. When Baumgardner gets in there with her, she's going to see for herself what she's up against. But I've been telling y'all, the Korean fighter, Bo Mi Ri Shin, you can see there's something special in her, but I told you, I lived in Korea for 3 years. I sparred all 3 years, 96, 97, and 2008 to 2010. I was in boxing gyms. I was sparring. I was traveling to other gyms out there in Korea with Kwang Jang Nim, that means coach. Traveling with him. He enjoyed having a couple American fighters with him. And we would go to different gyms and spar. And I'm telling you, I learned with the quickness that them Korean boxers, man, you got to kill them. And because if not, they'll kill you. They ain't going to quit. You got to beat them into submission, and they can't quit. They cannot quit. They have to fight. They fight with honor. I'm telling you, this ain't, people just come out here talking. I'm telling you from personal experience, man. They come in shape, and they're tough. You got to beat them until they can't take no more. If not, they'll beat the shit out of you. And if the referee don't stop it, they'll keep beating you. They're not going to hit you and daze you and then back off and look at the referee to come save you. No. They'll keep beating you until you have no life. That's just how they train. And trust me, if they were to quit and they went home, they would it'd be considered that they were they disappointed the country. They didn't show honor. And the country would turn on them. If they come back to the airport, people would probably beat them. Like, so you got to come out there and fight with honor. And I understand what, people don't understand this shit. They just, sometimes I think people assume they see a Korean fighter, a Chinese fighter, or a little Filipino guy or whatever, and just think, oh, they can't fight. And then when you get in there, you're like, what is this? This shit is not that easy. It's a problem. I'm telling you, it's a cultural thing. I'm just telling you from my experience, man. I've told a story about how I seen the little boy. He was supposed to go on and represent the country in the Olympics. He had it. All I remember they were saying, they were like, hood champion, he has gang. He has gang. And I was like, gang. They're like, yeah, gang, he has gang. He was like, it means ferocious. So that's the Korean word or slang they were using to describe the kid. All I remember is that shit, gang, he has gang. And the kid was messing around the gym. They took them focus mitts. I've told the story before. And they beat the shit out of the top of his head and all the other kids in there who were messing around. These kids were between ages of like 12 and 16. But you know, teenagers being teenagers, as soon as the coach disappeared to go take a piss, they start playing around. And they play rough, man. You see how they were slapping the shit out of each other with those mitts? They play rough as hell. Coach came in there, broke that shit up, and then I was with my homeboy, Puerto Rican cat. We worked together. And he had them do a bow forward. He beat him in the back of the head. And my partner and I, we looked at each other, and the coach was just like saying, different. In Korea, different. He was trying to say the training methods are different. And he was trying to say the kid's supposed to go represent the country for the Olympics. So all I'm telling you is, with Alycia Baumgardner, when she fights this weekend, she may have her hands full. That's all I'm saying. Now, if she gets a knockout, that's going to speak volumes about Claressa Shields. Alycia Baumgardner. But Alycia Baumgardner has got to do the business. She does, because the whole world's coming down on her, you know what I'm saying? There really is. That's because she keeps coming out here talking. And my thing is, don't even talk about it. You know what I'm saying? To me, just leave it alone. Because Claressa Shields, she sure as hell ain't letting stuff go. She right here. She says, try again, B word. This is all natural, no pads needed at 174. at Alycia because, Alycia talked about her appearance. She was like, loser A-word, and you can't beat me, and Michaela Mayer can't either. So Claressa taking shots at Michaela Mayer too. Focus on your fight and stop ducking Dubois. So you see, Alycia just has her hands full, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she really does. She just needs to just chill out. Chill out and leave things alone. Because Claressa's already in that position where the internet has interneted on her. You see right here, somebody, why don't you go pick up that $2 million off Cyborg at 160? Next person, you on the snack program. You see what I'm saying? That's just how it goes, you know what I'm saying? He said, look, I don't know what that means. Why people don't like you? You act like we can't have an opinion. Try again, B-word. Claressa acting ghetto again. You see what I'm saying? No real competitive fights at that man weight. You see what I mean? The internet will internet. So Alycia has to be careful not to go that direction. Now, as far as Baumgardner, no one's really talking about her the way I am. I agree with Claressa Shields and, not a Claressa, with Caroline, that Baumgardner is no joke. She's a serious fighter. I agree. And I agree that Alycia Baumgardner, if she's thinking shit's going to be sweet, she's going to be in for a surprise. I 100% agree with that. And I'm being honest with you. It ain't going to be an easy fight. Anyway, man, the internet is going to internet. We'll see what the future holds for Alycia. But I think if the Serrano fight isn't there, there's so much momentum and build up behind Alycia and Dubois. Just make the fight. Now, as far as Alycia and talking about branding and talking about selling out and all the stuff she's talking, I don't know what Alycia has done for her to be, kind of perched up on this pedestal and talking like she's Floyd Mayweather. Like I'm really, we know she's been putting in work. She has a big name, but I mean, I just don't understand it. I'll be honest with you. But maybe if she were to expound more and the guy would have asked more pointed questions once she made certain statements, maybe we could have got the conversation to open up a bit more. Because that's what I would have asked her. I was like, I hear what you're saying about branding, but what is it you've done or you're doing that makes you feel you're qualified to talk about branding? What puts you a notch above Caroline? You're talking about selling out tickets in arenas. Give us the facts. Where the last 3 places you fought, what are the numbers? Like, I would have asked that because then you have a compelling case and nobody can question it. But when you're just out here making these broad brush statements, man, it almost looks like you're just trying to be a bit diva-like and avoid the fight. I don't know. That's just my opinion, man. But anyway, I do think Alycia should be going after the big fights, big money. I think she should. But just chill out with these interviews, man. I mean, and if they come at you with that, take the conversation elsewhere. Or even tell them, I don't want to talk about this. But hey, you know what? That's just my 2 cents. Anyway, there's a lot of attention on Baumgardner. A lot of attention. And she just better be careful. She better not lose this weekend, I'll tell you that much. Even if it's a close fight, she's got to hit a grand slam. Because she's backed herself into a corner more than anything. Shadesha's not saying shit. Shadesha's not saying nothing. She's just there in the lab. Shadesha have nothing to say to nobody about nothing. She focused. Because Shadesha knows what she's up against. Shadesha ain't worried about shit except winning. And doing it in impressive fashion, preferably a knockout. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I'm rooting for Alycia to get the victory this weekend. But I'm going to tell you again, I just tell you from my experience, man. I ain't shooting from the goddamn hip. I've been over there in them gyms fighting with them dudes, man. And the females, yeah, I've seen some Korean female fighters too. It's all the same, man. But I'll tell you what, the motherfuckers don't like body shots. I'll tell you that. That's one thing for sure. When I was out there, you beat them in the head all day. Go to their body. They don't like that shit. They don't like that. I remember coming down there, and the coach had this guy in the gym, big old Korean dude, man. And he was like, hey, Hood, want you to spar him. I'm like, all right. And he was like, just body, just to the body. I'm like, to the body? He was like, yeah, body work. He needs to work on his body work. The kid, I was like, 18, I was like 30. I was in my early 30s. Yeah, I was in my early 30s. And the kid had to be about 27 maybe. Anyway, he didn't want us to go to the head. I was like, all right. He was like, do three 3-minute rounds to the body, 1 minute break, 30-second break. I said, all right. First round came in, he tried to come all, huffing and puffing, man. I was out damn near killed a dude. First round, coach said, stop, no more. I was like, this cat, big, strong dude, couldn't take body shots. The coach was shot. I don't know what he was telling him, but he was getting mad. And the guy with him, he would just, and he'd fold over and shit. But every time I didn't stop. Because I tell you, they won't quit. But he was hurt. And he finally took a knee. And the coach was screaming at him. I don't know what he was saying. But he said, no more, no more. So he said, no more, no more. I was like, all right. And then another guy came in and we sparred and shit. But remember, by this time I learned, you mess around with them, they will kill your ass. So as soon as that bell rang, man, stepped outside his left foot, shot straight to the body with that left, came back with that right to the side. And once he made that that sound, I just kept stepping around him and just banging him. And he ended up taking a knee and they stopped. He didn't come the next round. The coach was like, no. So if Alycia can go to the body on Baumgardner, you watch. Baumgardner will get on that back foot. I haven't seen any Korean fighter that can take body shots. None. And I was over there for 3 years. None of them. They don't like that shit. But to the head, you ain't gonna hurt them. Anyway, good luck to Alycia. I'm rooting for her, but Alycia, if you're watching my video, just be careful, man. Because the internet's gonna internet. You seem to be human. More human than some of these other people out here. Like this shit can really seem like it can really get to you. So don't give them an opportunity because Lord have mercy. They're starting to come down on Alycia big time. In the break.